Hello, yes, we can hear you. Let's see, chat room.
Yes, Shadrach. Yes, I've just joined. My apologies. I had gone to rest a little bit, but thank you so much for the opportunity to participate in the orientation program.
Of course, yes. No, thank you, Shadrach, for joining us. We're just gonna wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll begin, okay?
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we're gonna begin, and then if any students decide to join, then we'll go ahead and allow them in. So, Shadrach, welcome once again to CIU's DBA Orientation Program. Basically, this presentation and orientation will allow you to, one, meet your advisor, and also we have Dr. Melissa Houston here, who you will be a lot more in contact with as you progress and as you really go ahead into the final stages of your program. But it's basically a virtual dynamic so that you can get all the information available for the students to enjoy really all of the benefits of our platforms, of their courses, of the Learn Center, which is our main platform, and the different things and benefits that we give to students so that you can just, really, really enjoy everything. So right now I'm gonna basically give Dr. Melissa Houston to just speak a little bit about herself and what she does here. So yes, welcome the Associate Dean.
Hello, and welcome. This is your scholarly journey as it begins. So just a few things. As you get through your core classes, I want you to start thinking about an organization or a business problem that you would like to solve. Also think about, as you go through your core classes, if you want to do the dissertation side or if you want to do the DRP, which is the applied project. We highly recommend that students do the applied project because it's a lot less writing if writing isn't your thing. And if you really want to solve a real world problem that's going on in an organization, in the community, things of that nature that you would like to solve. So we tell students to keep that in mind as you're going through your core classes because you can build on all that knowledge while you're going through there. And then you complete your CCA exam. And that's really where the culmination of all your knowledge is put together. And then you begin your scholarly research journal. And that's when you really decide if you're going to do dissertation or if you're going to do applied project. Both pathways are based on your ability to move through the tasks and get the work done. And they are both options available to you to complete your doctoral degree. And so I will say this, when you are assigned your chair after you complete the core classes and your CCA exam, this is the individual that is your mentor. This is the person that will get you through the program. This is the individual that you want to have weekly team meetings like this with. this is the person that you want to have really good communication with, because they are there to guide you and get you through your scholarly journey. So if you have any other questions, again, you'll have another orientation once you've completed all the core classes. You'll have another orientation, and that is where you get to meet your doctoral advisor, Camilla. And then that'll be truly when you decide if you're going to do dissertation or if you're going to do the applied project. And you'll see me again, and I will be talking about the differences between the programs and kind of answering questions and doing stuff like that. So you'll have that information and another orientation once you're done with the core classes, but I just kind of like to put it out there so you're thinking about stuff as you're going through the core classes, and it keeps you excited and you're passionate about what you choose. Thank you.
All right, so moving on, and really just to keep in mind that we are gonna be giving you on this first orientation just the basics in order to ace your first week at school, your first term at school, really. But yeah, don't feel overwhelmed by the amount of information that you're gonna be getting, because I think that it's just good to have all of these ideas, you know, started out on students, and then once your journey begins with us, you will always be able to reach out to us. You will always be able to go back and look at these resources. We always try to, you know, send recordings to students on the orientations. We have a bunch of tutorials and different, you know, tools and resources in order to just drive you through the whole experience. So don't feel overwhelmed if you don't understand certain things yet. You're going to get familiarized with them as you go, you know, on your program. So first off, the technological requirements are very, very important to acknowledge, because some students do have this idea that because our programs are virtual, that they can do their programs perhaps through a phone or an iPad or something like that, and we truly advise the students to have their own computer, their personal laptop, etc., in order to actually, one, be able to successfully do all of their papers, all of their work, but also be able to save everything that they do and actually enjoy all of the benefits of our Learn Centers. So please make sure that you have a laptop and a reliable internet connection, of course. And then it's also binded to our institutional email policy, because we give students access to their institutional email, which you should have already received your different credentials, ShatRec, which is the username, to the Learn Center, to the email, and to your student portal. So you're going to be receiving, or you've already received, those three. And basically, through the student email, you will be receiving all of the communication back and forth between CIU and all its areas. So that's why it's important for you to keep checking consistently your student email. And you also get the benefit of being able to download Microsoft 365 from your email into your computer. So if you have any of the programs from Word, so Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Teams, which is this app, and different others such as Excel, etc., if you don't have them on your personal computer yet, you can always download the whole package through the email. Now we're going to start looking at our portals, or our main platforms. So as I was saying, you've received 3 sets of credentials, and the first one is for the Learn Center, the second one is for your email, and I believe the third one is for the student portal. The student portal is a minor platform that we use for administrative communication and some data. It really just gives you information on final grades, on your schedule, on the immediate term schedule class for the following term, some payment information, and you also get a visual of your student ID card through the student portal once you've requested it. Now going into the Learn Center, the Learn Center is the main platform that we use for classes. So this is really the one that you're going to be spending 90% of your time at. And the Learn Center has all of your courses, all of the different information on your instructors, also all the different tools and different additional platforms that we use. So your online library, you will get access to different courses as well, self-paced courses. So it's very, very important that you start familiarizing with the Learn Center. I'm going to be jumping into the actual tutorial that goes into how it looks, how to navigate on it in a moment. But I just wanted to mention that as the overview. And then the tools that you're going to find within the Learn Center are quite varied. We have the Turnitin Sandbox, which is a plagiarism checker, which is very, very important. Plagiarism, it's basically, keeping all of your submissions, all of your writing cited and correctly giving the correct amount of credits to the original writer in order not to be copying and pasting basically your data, and following APA, which is our main sourcing format that we use here at CIU. We give students access to a premium Grammarly account, so you will also be receiving a direct invite to Grammarly through your student email. So it's very important that you activate your student email. Then you will also get access through the Learn Center. Once again, as I mentioned, the online library. We also offer tutoring sessions, tutoring hours to students through our Learn Center. It's basically an additional platform where you'll be able to submit the class that you're taking and where you're struggling, basically, and you will receive a particular tutor assigned to you. And they will be able to help you out, review different documents or particular doubts that you're experiencing. If you receive feedback from the teacher on a certain subject, on a certain paper, you can also run through tutor.com in order to make it easier on you. We also offer the students access to their ebooks, which basically per term and per class, you will get access to different ebooks. Through the Learn Center, everything that we give to the students is virtual. And yes, you will be receiving a book per term. You won't be able to go back and look at the ebooks that have already passed. That's just one of our policies. So please make sure that you're taking notes while you are exploring all of the books per class. And obviously, if you have any questions or doubts on the books, you can always contact your advisor or even instructor. Also, because we're virtual, we've exploited YouTube, and we have basically a whole wide array of tutorials available to the students in order to just be aware of how to handle all of the resources differently. We also give students an overview of different courses that we give to the students for free within the course shells, and anything additional as well. We have all the tutorials regarding how to set up your student email. We have different tutorials on how to even reset your password on the Learn Center, stuff like that. We have everything covered up on there. So I'm actually going to be sending you all the different links to the resources once we finish the whole orientation. So you will receive those. As I mentioned, the Turnitin Sandbox is a very important tool to avoid plagiarism. And it's really important for us to let you know that we have this tool for you, because within our plagiarism policies and academic honesty policies, students are only allowed to submit documentation and assignments that are under a 15% plagiarism percentage. So if you exceed that percentage, you are at risk of failing that particular assignment. Or perhaps if you have different, red flags, different pointers by the teachers on plagiarism to get an F on the complete course and have to retake it. We also have different tools for students who are a little bit, going through just maybe an issue or doubts on plagiarism. We actually do offer a plagiarism workshop, which is a new implementation, and we will also be handling a particular faculty member who will be helping students to just develop their writing. So if you have any issues with the plagiarism along the way, you can always reach out to me, and I will also connect you to Dr. Rosie Branchifort, who will be taking a part of this effort in this whole campaign. So now, as a DBA student, you will be starting with GRC 600. This will be your first class, which is Doctoral Academic Study in Writing. All of our courses are 6 weeks long, so they go by really fast. Therefore, it's very important to understand that each of the weeks and completing the works within that weekly period is incredibly important, just because you don't want to go ahead and, miss out on maybe pile on work as you go through the weeks because you didn't complete week 1, etc. So try to organize your schedule once you've already looked at how the week is placed, how the week is, organized on your platform. Go ahead and schedule yourself before time and be able to deliver everything on a timely manner. And then we are asynchronous, meaning that we do have weekly due dates, but you can always feel free to try to submit those in beforehand. We have weekly due dates due on Wednesdays by 11:59 p.m. PST. We always have the first discussion questions due on Wednesdays, and then we have everything else, whether that is a blog post and an assignment or even a quiz sometimes here and there. You will have until Sunday, 11:59 p.m. PST. And it's very important that we make sure that we emphasize that it's 11:59 p.m. PST, so California time. And every time you log into your Learn Center, you will actually get a clock, a live timer where it will reflect California's time zone. So you can always go back into that timer, and I'm gonna just go ahead and show you how it looks right now as a reference for your due dates and your due times. So one of the advices that we also give the students as they come in is to always make sure that you're checking the syllabus, because the syllabus is going to give you everything around percentages per assignments and participation and all of those different things, but it will also give you an insight to your instructor's contact information and certain details that are very important to take in place. And I'm going to show you how it looks on the platform, and also you get an actual forum where the teacher will give you a short bio, all of the contact information from available office hours, email, phone number. You can always feel free to contact the instructor directly. We actually encourage that if you have any trouble, if you're experiencing any doubts. And as just as a second point of contact, you can always come to us, obviously your advisors, in order to maybe talk to the instructor also on your behalf if you're having issues to maybe connect with your instructor, etc. So we'll always be available for you if you experience any issues. And then let's see. In terms of textbooks, as I was mentioning before, you will all get limited access to virtual textbooks per term. So you won't be able to access other terms' textbooks. You will always be able to log back into maybe the course shell of a past class, but not the textbooks. These get limited access just because we do lower our virtual fees with that policy. And either way, students should be responsible for taking different notes and, really being thorough on the information that they save as they go through each of the classes. Now, you will also be getting access to our additional platforms as you go through the program. These platforms are not available through the first course that you take, so you will not be looking at this through GRC 600, but basically for courses in the future, you will also be connected to different platforms such as Alex, Sibnet, and Connect, which are just platforms that allow the student to have a little bit more of a immediate response type of dynamic and experience with assignments. So any quizzes that you make on these platforms and any assignments or submissions that you make on these platforms, these are actually graded automatically. So you won't have to wait for your instructor to grade these different assignments. You will basically just get an automatic response and will be reflected on your grade. The great thing about these platforms as well is that you will be able to go back. So if you perhaps submitted your first assignment, the first time, and you had certain issues understanding certain things, the platform will actually allow you to look at different tips for, just successful completion of your assignment, and you will be able to go back responding the correct answers and being able to move forward. So there's always chances to rise your grades, etc. So these are honestly great for the overall educational experience of students. Oh, this was added accidentally. So, and finally, before we move into the actual tutorial of how the Learn Center looks, we are going to be stressing and looking at attendance. And attendance, what attendance is at CIU, is actively engaging on your course. So basically, you will have to be posting on your course on the due dates. You will be submitting your assignments on time to be actively engaged and not showing on our attendance reports. If you lag and basically, not make posts on due times, you will start to add up days. And unfortunately, due to our policies, if you've already revised the catalog, is very clear. It says students who fail to attend for 14 consecutive days within a term can be eligible for withdrawal. So if you reach the 14 days out of the platform due to different circumstances, you are unfortunately eligible for withdrawal. Withdrawal can cause different consequences, such as losing financial aid. Losing your scholarship. Obviously, you will get different items reflected on your transcript, on your official transcripts, etc. And you will have to retake the course that you've been withdrawn from. So it's very important to just stay up to date and let us know if you have any issues to work with you directly on those issues. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual tutorial. But before that, Shatrek, do you have any questions until now that we can revise before jumping into the tutorial?
So far, so good. Thank you.
Okay, great. So this is the main platform, the main site, the main site of CIU. And we always start here because it's also important that students know that they have the ability to basically look at all of their platforms through here. So you'll see that you have the Students tab on the far right of your site, and you will get the first thing that you see is Commencement and then Learn Center. So we're going to go ahead and click on there, and you'll be greeted by this screen. I'm going to just go ahead and log into my student view so that you actually get the whole experience of being a student. So as I was mentioning on the presentation earlier, the first thing that you'll see is that you get current time at CIU and you get, the actual time in California. So this can also always serve you as a reference for your due dates and due times. And now really it's the top bar will allow you to look at your courses, the student email, the student portal. So you get these accesses to the different tools that we offer the students, the Student Resource Center, which is very important, and I'm going to be showing it a little bit later. And the online library, which we also talked about. So everything regarding academic papers and different compilations of just really important stuff, more so on the DBA level. You will be using the online library quite a bit, and also we'll be sharing a couple of details for the GRC portion of your DBA program as presented by Dr. Houston. So on the sidebar here, you'll access to your courses, and you'll actually see that the course available for that term will be the first thing that you see just in the bottom section. So for me, it's NGT 518, and it'll basically describe the year, obviously, and the term you're in. So CT7, so we're term 7, 2021, just so that you also get a clear picture of what you're looking at. MGT 518, basically, sorry?
I logged on to the Land Center. Is it because maybe you haven't activated access to us? You haven't pushed information to our profiles?
Yeah. So basically, actually, your course, Shabrak, that's a good question, will only be available to you the weekend before, okay, it's the start date. So basically on Friday, by tomorrow, you'll see your course there. Okay, so you'll see GRC 600 there.
Excellent.
Okay, so you'll be able to go into the course and you will be greeted by the main items. So on GRC 600, you will actually get a Start Here folder, which will allow you to look at all of these different items for the GRC 600 class. So the syllabus, your textbook, which is normally represented by the green puzzle piece. You will get different tutorials if you need any help, and all of the additional resources directly linked to the instructor. So for example, this instructor information and announcements, as I was mentioning before, normally just your instructors will give you different, information on their contact information, small biography, and different things for the class, and just, useful things to actually get to know your instructor. So in terms of view, you will get all of the different weeks or units across your site dashboard, and you will be looking at the grades folder as well, which is quite useful in terms of feedback. All of the instructors will be giving you feedback weekly on your different assignments submitted. So you'll see that for discussion question, for the blogs, assignments, etc. that you're submitting, you will be receiving the percentage and then all of the different comments that you should be looking at in order to, one, revise or maybe resubmit or change different things accordingly. So basically, it's how to look at feedback on your grades folder. And then we're going to be looking at the example of just week 1 or unit 1. Depending on the course, it changes the name. Some courses use it as unit 1. Some courses just mention week 1. And the first thing that you'll need to complete as Monday begins is your biography statement. So you will be able to just share a couple of words, about yourself, about your focus and interests behind starting your DBA and what you expect out of the class. This will be your first post, and it's very easy to handle. Really, you'll get a link and you will be redirected to the main sort of chat box type of dynamic, and you'll be able to add a new discussion and just, go ahead and type in your message. Just make sure that you're reading, obviously, all of the instructions that you see above, and you also try to respect the deadlines, which it's not, it's not really hard to follow, as they give you the complete day, the whole day, in order to go ahead and submit your post. So let's see, unit 1. Then normally the second type of post that you'll see throughout your weeks is the discussion question. These are very important because these will also give you your participation grades and the kind of connections that you create with your peers. So you will get different additional resources, lectures, etc. So all of the reading content that you will be able to review as part of your course, but for the discussion question is kind of the same format. So you'll get all of the instructions that you need to complete, as well as the wording that you'll need to, fulfill, and the wording that each of your responses to different class members will have to also fulfill. You need to, for discussion questions, is your initial post answering the actual question post by the instructor, and then you will need to post 2 additional responses to different posts of your class members in order to get the full grade of that particular assignment. So it's basically that you will be you need to complete your initial post by Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. PST. So that's the main thing. You'll see that all of you are, peers go ahead and submit their thing. So in order for you to respond, you will just need to click on whomever is choosing to respond, and you'll see that as you scroll down, you will be given the option to reply and just add your reply. It's very easy because it's actually kind of similar to even Facebook. You will be able to click on submit, and once you submit it, something like this will appear, depending obviously on how much of a detail you give to each of your responses. So let's see, let's go back to Unit 1. Now, in some courses, you will see the blog post activity, which is the same format, really. It's the same kind of posts. You'll just be given the different wording options that you'll need to complete, the instructions that you'll need to post. And then really the one that changes up a little is the weekly assignment. And the assignment is something that you will have to work on a separate Word document, and you will have to submit that document into the platform. Which actually brings me to a little tip. You should always be working for your discussion posts, discussion questions on a different Word document anyway, just so that, one, you can save up your progress if you perhaps start it and then you want to go back to it. Don't rely on the Learn Center to save up your work, because if you perhaps, started on the Learn Center directly and you get up to get some coffee, or you want to go ahead and go back to it later, these posts will not save. So it's better for you to work on a Word document until you're going to just submit it, instead of, having it there just waiting for you as you work on it. So please just go ahead and work on a Word document and then submit it. For the assignment, you'll see that you will also get all of the different instructions. You are required to use APA for your assignments. We actually give students resources to make it easier on them in terms of APA templates. We give out students just a variety of APA templates that make it easier to follow and to not get lost on APA formatting, with different notes on how to, completely just stay in line with the APA requirements. And then you'll see that you'll get this sort of vision. I'm actually going to go ahead and look at Unit 6 view of the assignment, just because it doesn't have anything on there submitted. And so initially your submission rubric will look like this. It will look gray, and it'll say something like submission status, no attempt. So if you haven't attempted to submit something or upload a file, it'll look something like this. Obviously the grading status will be on blank as well, and you will have this point rubric in gray that basically, once you have submitted your document, the teacher will go ahead and manipulate it in order for you to have a accurate view of what you did good, what you did not so well, and where you can perform better in the future. You also get this little comment section here, which instructors use in order to communicate with you if there's anything outstanding, anything important to talk to you about. So you can always check there as well once you've revised any comments, anything from your submission. And basically, as you scroll down through this section, you will see the Add Submission button. So once you click on the Add Submission button, you will get this little drag and drop square, and you'll be able to click on that blue arrow and choose the file. So for the means of this this presentation, I'm just going to go ahead and use this document. You will be able to choose the file and click on upload this file, and you'll see your file right here, and then you'll just need to click on save changes. It's very important that you click on save changes, because if you don't, well, your changes will not be saved and your work can be delayed if you don't click on here and make sure that it's been uploaded. Once your work has actually successfully been uploaded, it'll look something like this. You will see that your box changes to a green status, so it'll say submitted from grading, and then you'll see that the file submission looks something like this. So you will see everything if you've submitted your work completely and successfully. And then once the teacher has graded, obviously it'll say graded, and it'll give you different details that are very important to check. So due date, the time remaining, and last modified if there were any changes that you submitted beforehand. Now, on this 1%, this is very important to review, because once you agree to the terms of conditions of the Learn Center, you'll see that every time you submit an assignment, you get a percentage on the bottom of your files, and that is the percentage of plagiarism that the Turnitin Sandbox has detected. And it's very important that you review the Turnitin Sandbox before submitting your actual documents, because obviously, as I mentioned, if you get a high percentage of plagiarism, you might be flagged, or you might be, just called that by the instructor. When you click on the percentage, the great thing about the Turnitin Sandbox is that it actually provides you with a report, a detailed report of where you are committing plagiarism or where you are getting your information from. So for example, in this case, for me, this came up on the similarity report, and you actually get the sources where you got your work from. So it's very important, once again, to correctly source all of your different work, and just make sure that you are checking the Turnitin Sandbox first. So as we are talking about the Turnitin Sandbox, where do I find this resource? Well, you're going to be going into the Student Resource Center, which is basically, this is the place that you need to go into if you're, looking for tools, resources, etc. And you'll see that you're going to be greeted with different things, listing out all of our different items and what we give out to the students. These items will actually be located in each of the folders as seen here. So if you look at writing resources and you want a template, to go into the writing resources folder, and you'll get first all of your different support contacts. So all of your advisor contacts will be here. I, myself, Andrea Varela, as a DBA advisor, you can always talk to me. And if you don't find me, or if you want to talk to someone else faster, you can always also reach out to Camilla, who also works closely with DBA students. So into writing resources, you'll see that you get all of the different quick guides, all of the different resources to ACE APA, and as I was mentioning before, we give out the students essay templates that will allow you to look at all the formatting for your assignments. So for example, if you click on that, you will get access to this template that you can use throughout all of the weeks in order to just replace the information that is being asked on, and follow correctly all of the guidelines. So you'll see even notes for referencing correctly. So you'll see all of the different comments and notes on these templates. They're very, very useful. Now, as you scroll down, you will also look at different formatting and referencing tools here, access to our different apps mentioned before. So for Grammarly, you get like the whole guide on how to activate your account. You will get different grammar guides, also different stuff for style and punctuation, essay tips and guides, and other tools. So let's go back to important resources, which basically important resources is like the whole summary of everything that we give out to students. So you'll see from, documentation to forms that you'll need maybe throughout your program. You will see links that are very, very important, such as the academic calendar. If you have any doubts on the term breaks, etc., you will get them here. Also, everything CIU, everything policies related, everything that has to do with accreditation, everything is on our CIU course catalog, which I will also be sharing with you at the end of the presentation. I believe, Shetrek, that with you, I've already shared a couple of these resources, so you've got that already throughout all of the links that I shared with you. And as mentioned on the beginning part of the presentation, Tutoring Services. So you'll be able to click on tutor.com as part of your, tools. And basically on this platform, you will be able to choose your topic or class that you need help with. So for example, on the starting class that you are going to be looking at initially is GRC 600, and maybe just, writing help that you need. So you can always enter your particular question or particular doubt that you are having, and you'll be able to connect to an actual tutor available during the time necessary. So going back to the Resource Center, you'll have different useful tools as well. So different guides for downloading, as I was mentioning, the Microsoft 365 package and the actual student Turnitin sandbox. So under important resources, you'll be looking at the student Turnitin sandbox, which when you click on it, it actually it looks very similar to when you submit your documentation through the course. And it's very important that you run the reports before you submit your final assignments all throughout the weeks. And basically, in order to resubmit a different assignment, you will only have to click on remove submission, continue, and then you need to go back to the student Turnitin sandbox, and then you'll be able to add or edit the submission. So you'll be able to add a new one, choose a file, and yeah, I'll just go ahead and upload this one for the sake of the example. Upload this file, and as you save the changes, you will get the new report or the new percentage RAM. So you will always have to wait a couple of minutes. It'll first say queued, and then it'll, after 3-4 minutes, it'll give you the actual percentage as once the document has been completely analyzed by the sandbox. So on this item, I believe we actually saw all of the different resources. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump into the online library. And for this portion, I'm actually gonna, let's see, open a new window. So you'll see that this is our online library, Shetrek, and basically it's a complete database of different topics. You will be able to just search anything that you are, developing. And if the teacher normally asks for peer-reviewed resources, so this is just a great place in order to look at those. And as you go into your GRC DRP portion of the DBA, you'll actually get access to different resources. If you scroll all the way down, there are a couple of resources that Dr. Houston has shown us in previous orientations, where you'll actually be able to look at different dissertations and theses in order to get examples, in order to get your curiosity started and going, in order to ace whatever you want to actually focus on future on your future work. So that's really the main importance of obviously the Learn Center. And let's see, I believe that's all of the different resources. If you ever run into a problem, maybe technological problem or even connection-wise, you can always submit a ticket or just directly contact your advisor. And basically you'll be able to fill this form out and just type in your particular issue. And then someone from IT will be contacting you in order to solve this issue. So you have those options available. And we've come to an end of our presentation with this. So if you have any questions, Shetrek, this is the time. Either way, obviously, as I mentioned on the beginning, it is a whole lot of information. So I will be sharing the video, this recording to you as well once it's been uploaded to our channel. And you can always, feel free to go back to the video, or even as I sent you already my Calendly link, you can always schedule a one-on-one call with me and we can go over any concerns, any doubts, any questions, any different things that you run into the platform. I always advise the students that obviously now that you know that you're going to get access to your course by tomorrow, you can start looking in, and if you run into any questions, you can give me a call, you can just email me and we'll review those together, okay? So I don't know if you have any questions, any doubts right now for me.
I'm okay. Thank you very much. I know I wanted to just check. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but what is the idea of posting or commenting on other candidates? I didn't quite appreciate what is being sought from the student. Okay,
so normally once the initial response has been completed, normally the students will want to respond with either questioning their peers. So if they have any questions about their post, or if they want to reiterate like a particular idea, they will be asked to simply share their thoughts on the post. And yeah, that's really it. It normally is a short response. So it's basically just to ignite that participation between the students, and the responses are kind of short. It's, I believe, 150 words that you have to write back to the student. It's only two responses per week that you need to make. But yeah, it's just basically trying to leverage communicating with the other participants on your course, and also being a little bit of just questioning what is being written about distinct topics.
Thank you.
For sure. I don't know if there's anything else, Melissa, if you want to go ahead and comment on anything else. I believe that we are done for today.
No, that's it. I wish all of you the great success, and I'll be seeing you all soon as you get through your core classes, and we'll have another orientation so you can decide if you're going to be an applied project student or if you're going to be a dissertation student. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye.